Funmaker Mike.
Three musketeers. Three musketeers and me. Wait a minute. You know what I need to do? I need to wear a mask tonight on stage. Alright.
Once again, Funmaker Mike.
Funmaker Mike, yeah. Funmaker Mike. I come out on stage, people go crazy, they give me a standing ovation.
Once again, Funmaker Mike.
Funmaker Mike? That's me. Jeez, I gotta get out there now. Jesus, what is that? No. Cool, but no. It's just plain weird. Ground control to Major. No. No. What was it? It's gotta be the same one I wore when I was a kid. I remember. Oh my God, there it is. That's it. Oh my goodness, they're gonna go out of their minds.
They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky, the Addams Family. Their house is a museum, when people come to see them, they really are a scream.
Thanks everybody for coming. So, thank you, Adam. That was great. Kind of sucks though. He has that cool accent. I wish I had a cool accent. Why don't I have a cool accent? It doesn't matter what he says. It just sounds great, right? All right. So thanks for coming because this is a big deal for the Baja Scholarship Foundation. You'll find out a little bit more about that as we progress here tonight. But you know what was weird about growing up as a kid in the 60s and 70s? This is kind of how it all started for me. Was that Dick Dastardly. I really wanted that. I loved Wacky Racers. Anybody remember that? Yeah. So I wore it for a couple of years, but to really go all the way back, we got to go back to this. That's me in a silver cardboard box. And let me tell you, I got hooked right then and there. You know why? Because I won first prize at the Cub Scout Jamboree. My dad made that for me, which means a lot. Was pretty cool. That's my little brother there, the Hot Wheels. He loved Hot Wheels. So that's where I got hooked. But growing up as a kid in the 60s and 70s, everything around me seemed to be monsters. I don't know, maybe it was just me, but it seemed like monsters were everywhere, right? Like there was, monster cereal, right?
Don't be scared. I'm the super sweet monster with the super sweet new cereal, Count Chocula. Therefore, here's the super sweet new cereal, Frankenberry. But I've got chocolate sweeties for monstrous chocolate flavor.
Well, I've got berry-flavored sweeties for monstrous strawberry flavor.
Count Chocula.
Frankenberry.
Count Chocula.
So I love that stuff, man. I've got the cavities to prove it. But anyway, look at Count Chocula, Boo Berry, Frankenbite. Anybody remember what some of the other ones were? That's right, sir. Fruit. I wish I had a prize, but I don't. But anyway, you're missing one. Yummy Mummy. Wow, we got a really educated crowd tonight. But here's what's crazy. Watching that stuff as a little kid, 30 years later, working with General Mills, starting my own company, and actually having the premium of the Wacky Wild. I mean, I don't even know how that happens, right? Isn't that weird? So I definitely think it had a little bit of an influence on me that I was able to work with them and do this. So that was a dream come true. That was really big, and that was really cool for me. So anyway, monster cereal. There was a lot of other monster stuff like this. Monster stickers everywhere. Who remembers those? Wacky packages, right? They're basically like, look at the artwork. There were other monster stickers. there were things like Odd Rod. That's right. And Ed Big Daddy Roth, there's a character of his, Dragnut, loved Ratfink. How many people know who Ratfink is? So that was one of Ed's characters. There were also ugly stickers that I put everywhere on my door, and those do not peel off. At least that's what my mom says. So, we have monster comic books, right? A lot of those kids were reading Archie and Richie Rich and all that stuff, but I kind of liked the monster comic books and all that fun. But look at some of that artwork and look at the terror in that young girl's face. I mean, you gotta love it, right? So monster comic books, monster stickers, monster cereals. I'm going, wow, everything's monster. What else is monster? Monster balls, right? I mean, how many out there have monster... Wait a minute. So they were mad balls, right? Mad balls. They weren't really monster balls. Well, they were kind of. But anyway, I love those monster balls. What else was monster? Monster games, right? Haunted house. Look at that. I could throw that switch and just electrocute the hell out of them. All right. What other monster game? Green Ghost. Green Ghost. You could play that. It glowed in the dark. You played it in the dark. What kid wouldn't want to have a glow-in-the-dark game, right? No? All right, look at slime. What else? What other monster games? Mystic Skull. You gotta love the art. Okay, so these Ouija boards, you know, they really kind of work, right? What's weird about those darn things is you think that it kind of works, and then you just say, okay, enough, right? Let's just put it away. All right, what other monster games? We had Witch Witch. Okay, there were two monster models. Like there was two major model makers. One was Revell, the other was Aurora. Aurora was the king of the monster models. Anybody remember this at all? Am I the oldest one in here? Okay, so look at the freaking artwork on that stuff. Monster models, and now if you actually knew what you were doing and you could build one, which I couldn't, I would watch my dad build it for me, but look at the painting and so monster models, great stuff, right? And there was monster makers.
You can make all kinds of lovely things like these with Mattel's wonderful Funmaker. It makes creepy crawlers, spiders, lizards, snakes, dragonflies. Make them yourself with this nice plastic goop. Collect them or spread them around. After all, they're fun for the entire family. Get Mattel's new Thingmaker with creepy crawlers. You can tell Mattel. Swell.
So creepy crawlers were great, right? I wanted those so freaking bad. And I told my mom, I have to have these. And she said, this is like plugging an oven right into the wall. You're not getting it. She goes, you're going to burn yourself. And I said, no, I won't. No, I won't. Yes, you will. You're not getting one. So, luckily, the friend down the street had one. And guess what? That's right. But they had all sorts of cool stuff. This taught me how to customize stuff. Like, you didn't have to just put red goop in and make the red spider. You could put 3 different colors of goop in, right? They had Fright Factory, creepy crawlers, thing makers. Look at that stuff. I think this kind of taught me when I did Wacky Wobblers. Maybe that's where I learned how to do alliterations. And look at the artwork. I think I want to frame some of those little molds. They're so cool. To me, that's almost like art. Keep going there, David. What do we got here? That was the instruction booklet, I think. But I mean, what kid wouldn't want that? So now we saw monster makers. Now remember, during the Pez would come out seasonally, and I just loved those Pez that would come out during Halloween. All right, so now let's really get into monster movies.
Spend the night. One house. Great. Something is alive in the fun house. Something deadly. Something evil. Something that tonight will turn the funhouse into a carnival of terror. The funhouse, rated R, starts Friday at the theater.
So So yeah, rated R. So I think I was about 14 or 15. I thought, man, this is so cool because they stowed away at a fun house with their girlfriends overnight, right? Like, wow, what a great idea. Why didn't I think of that? But it's not really that fun. It doesn't turn out good. But it was one of those ones, you know, where you pay for the G movie and you sneak into the R movie. Did anybody do that? Yeah. So I think everybody in here did that. So there were a lot of great monster movies. There were the classics, of course, right? Creature from the Black Lagoon. There were the fun ones like Young Frankenstein. See, everybody loves that. And then, of course, there was the one that had a great poster that nobody saw. All right. So we covered the monster movies. So what does that leave us with? Monster TV. Love the Munsters. Isn't there something? I mean, the song was great, right? That kind of surfy twang. The car was great. The car, and you know what? I was just going to get to that. If you would have given me just a chance, but but George Barris was the car designer. Ed Big Daddy Roth and George Barris were the car designers. George Barris did those cars. He did the Munster coach, and he did, I think, Grandpa's coffin car. Is that right? Okay. And so this Marilyn, man, she was pretty hot, right? I think, to me, I remember getting in arguments, is she hotter than I Dream of Jeannie? Is she hotter than Bewitched? Or whatever the girl's name, what was Samantha? And then who was the other one that was so hot during the time? Ellie Mae. Yeah, I kind of liked Ellie Mae by the old cement pond, right? Yeah, she was, okay, so anyway, there was also the Addams Family, right? I didn't like it as much as the Munsters, but I don't know why I love the Munsters more. And then you can't talk about Munster TV, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot talk about Munster TV unless we talk about Elvira. Love her. She's great. I remember as a kid, well, a little older kid, watching these Halloween commercials every year like this one.
Wanna go psycho with me, Elvira? Here at the Bates Motel? Look for me wherever they sell mug root beer. And enter the Go Psycho with Elvira contest. You can be my guest at Universal Studios in Hollywood for a monstrous bash at the Bates Motel. Shower anyone? This Halloween, go psycho with Elvira and win a party with mug root beer and me.
I love my mug.
I love it.
So, that's kind of a weird ending, though. I always, but so she's still super hot. She's still super cool, and I love hanging around with her. She's become a real good friend. And who would have thought, after being a kid again, watching those commercials 30 years later, I'd be doing a monster commercial about cereal with Elvira. So let's take a look at that now.
Hello, little monsters. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark here, bringing a little bite back in your breakfast with this. Funko's Elvira. Funko's Elvira cereal should stir up some fun for any meal, day or night. And how's this for a kicker? In every box you get a mini pop of me for free. You know, crunching these Cheerios sure takes me back to when I was a little girl.
And it tastes great too.
Funko's, the tasty new treat featuring a cast of characters, including Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, yummy cereal, games on the box, a free toy inside, nutrition facts. Wait, there's more! Bowls and spoons too! What? Elvira Funko's, available exclusively at Hot Topic.
Collect them all. Ah, so cute.
Jesus, what are the chances? So that was a great shoot, but that was written, directed, filmed by David Ramiro. Make it fun. He's sitting right back there. I know I'm the cool one of the group, but he has done a lot of work. And he deserves a lot of credit. Actually, he's been a wonderful friend, and we've done a lot of fun stuff together, and there's more to come. That's all I can tell you. There's more fun to come. Hey, that might be a good... All right. All right, I can't even remember. I've lost track of what we're talking about. Okay, haunted. Okay, there was a lot of haunted music and records and stuff when I was a kid. Now, there was nothing better than Disney's Haunted Mansion, right? So I couldn't wait to go there because I got the Viewmaster, right? I'm looking at the slides, Haunted Mansion, I'm listening to the sound effects records, and my mom says, you will never go there. Because there's going to be a horrible earthquake in California. I came from Eastern Washington. We will all die, so we will never go there. But you will get to enjoy this Viewmaster and this sound effects record in the closet while you listen to these. So that was what I got. And guess what? It was almost... No, it wasn't. It wasn't even close. But I listened to this while I looked at the Viewmaster for hours. The same 8 photos, right? So there was that, but what was even more riveting and amazing, and I gotta be, this is 100% honest, this really captivated me, was this record right here.
How do you do, boys and girls? My name is Alfred Hitchcock, and I'm delighted to find that you believe in ghosts too. After all, they believe in you, so it is only common courtesy and politeness to return the favor.
So when I was in 2nd grade, I lived right across the street from the school. They had library night. Boring, right? But you could go to the library and you could check out this record and you could put headphones on, go in the corner, and I would listen to this over and over and over again. And the reason it was so great, I lived across the street because I could be there before all the other kids. Because people love this. I could tell you every word of every one of his stories, and there was something just magical about that, right? If you don't know anything about this or you're learning about it for the first time, check it out. I'm sure it's like online. It's this internet thing. But I enjoyed that experience of sitting there, and you know how your imagination as a little kid just takes you everywhere. So you had monster sound effects, you had monster stories, but what about actual monsters playing music? Kiss, right? I mean, I'm telling you, once the 70s hit, I was blown away. My parents didn't really get it, but think about it. Blood spitting, fire breathing, monsters. I mean, who doesn't like the 4th of July and Halloween rolled into one, right? I mean, that was everything, right? Let me hear it. Let's hear it for Kiss. Come on. I mean, jeez. Come on, people. That's songwriting at its finest. I mean, come on. Who could write classics like Love Gun? I mean, all right, so we had the monster music. So that pretty much, is that it? I think. Okay, so that was the influences, right? All the monster influence. Let's just talk a little bit, shall we, about Halloween of the 70s. What was that like? That's a young David Romero. Halloween of the 70s. It was wonderful. There was nothing more important as a kid than deciding what Halloween costume you would use. There was 2 decisions you made that told everything about you as a person. What your Halloween costume was and what lunch pail you picked out, right? So like the cool kids, like Dick Dastardly, right? Anyway, so there were 2 people that made the masks, right? There was Ben Cooper, of course, and then of course there was what were they? Collegeville. Those were the 2 main mask manufacturers. Here's some of the advertising from that. Real colorful. I wish I could go back for $1.98 and buy all that stuff now. Look at all these neat costumes. Again, it says everything about you as a person. What am I going to be this year? I want to be Radfink. I want to be this cool spaceman. I don't know what this guy is, but it's awesome. Hey, Mom, I want to be Flipper. Like, who the hell wants to be Flipper? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like Rat Fink can kick Flipper's butt. Anyway.
Make Halloween
this. This is
fun
pretty
with
cool.
one-stop shopping at Woolworth or Wilco for your Halloween needs. Costumes from $1.83 to $3.99, like $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, superheroes, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and a new favorite for girls, Holly Hobby. You can get wrapped candies of every kind, bubblegum, lollipops, fun-sized candy bars. Get this Halloween record, sounds to make you shiver, just $1.89. Make Halloween fun and easy. Make just one stop at Woolworth or Wilco.
There's costumes of TV favorites like Wonder Woman and the Hulk. There's popular characters from Star Wars. And there's superheroes like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, and many more at bare bones prices. $2.38 to $4.17. And there's Spook Sticks, Space Pops, Hello Witches, wrapped candy of every kind. All at the favorite Halloween haunts. Woolworth and Wolfo.
Spook Sticks and Space Pops. I wonder what those were. It sounds cool. So let's look at the actual, these were photographs taken by a thing called a camera. And they had to, there was a thing called film. And they had to go to this guy that you give it to and he ran it through a machine. But look at these wonderful photographs. Look at that, Wonder Woman. Look at, these are all Ben Cooper masks for the most part. Really cool stuff. You know that $6 Million Man, it always just looked like he had a bad rash on his eye, right? It's like that bionic eye didn't really, and then I don't know who this guy is, maybe he's one of the Village people or something, but Casper, there's a lot of Casper masks sold, right? That's a great one. Kiss. Evil Knievel, that's the one I want. I still can't find it or buy it. I'd love to get one, an Evil Knievel. And that's a cool combo. Spock with, I think that's I Dream of Jeannie. That's a great one. He's on his BMX with his devil suit on. Jaws. So, now remember, it said a lot about you, what you carried your candy in, am I right? Sir? That's right. There was the pumpkins, okay, but if you were really cool, you had one of these, right? I mean, if you were really, really, really cool, or a black cat, right? Here's some ads for some of the, what do you call them? Just basically the treat containers, or... So, anyway, haunted houses, right? Haunted houses, still to this day, are captive. I go up to the haunted trail. I've only been here for about 5 years. These were amazing. We paid extra. I paid David, I said, I want to pay extra for these special effects. I said, I don't want to skimp here, man. I mean, look at that. I mean, I had to pay, but you people are worth it. Trust me. So look at that. So the haunted houses were really great, right? And very captivating and very wonderful, of course. So anyway, let's move on to Halloween traditions, shall we? Oh wait, darn it, I'm a slide early. All right, now who doesn't want to put their head in a bowl of water with candles? That's fun. That's a good Halloween tradition. Bobbing for apples. There they are doing it there. I don't know what's going on here, but I thought it was fun to look at. So then there was carving pumpkins. Everybody likes that. I liked it too until I finally realized that people were really damn good at it, and I wasn't. So there was the carving pumpkins, and then there was, of course, next, this. What? I'm talking about Devil's Night, people. That's when you become 14 and 15, when they tell you you're too old to go trick-or-treating. Right? So what do you do the night before Halloween? I'm not proud of it. You gotta remember, this was Devil's Night, right? So we filled those squirt bottles with gasoline, and we would knock on Old Man Jenkins' door and ring the doorbell, and all of us at once would spray it. And yeah, that wasn't nice. So that we did all sorts of Halloween pranks and stuff. Again, I know, I feel bad now. But, you know, the lighting everybody would do, I mean, come on, that's harmless fun. And the poop on fire, there he is there, Old Man Jenkins, And there was all sorts of other fun that we would do, like whitewashing and soaping windows. Boy, we were really radical. We cleaned their windows. Then there was the TPing. Everybody liked to participate. I mean, everybody's done that. Come on. So that was when it got really out of control. So, oh, you're right. It is Devil's Night. Don't look under your chairs. All right, so I believe that our slideshow has pretty much ended. I just did want to tell you, it's not quite over because there's something really cool coming up. So that's how it all started. I do want to thank both Keegan and Adam for having me and letting us put on this thing here because it was a great venue to talk about this Baja Scholarship Foundation. I want to show you a 2-minute video about it because it found me. I didn't find it. It was a really neat thing that we're doing for these kids. You guys weren't here last week, but anybody that was, Brian was here, Mariotti, the CEO of Funko. He got up, and at the end of the night, he gave them a check on the spot from him and Shannon for $10,000. And